$3,500 for a 1-week website and $7,500 for a 2-week website build. That is exactly what my past student Janessa does on repeat, and she's about to explain exactly how it's done. Keep watching. She will share her 1- and 2-week systems, the announcement post that landed her 4 clients right away, and the very simple SEO and Google strategy which keeps her inbox full of client inquiries from her hometown, even while she's digital nomading abroad. Okay, Janessa, tell me, what exactly was it that you were doing before you became a website designer?
I was a freelance event producer and I worked with corporations. For 4 or 5 years, I was able just to travel and work and set my own schedule. And then I got to a point where I really wanted to work like more one-on-one, and I wanted to work with small business owners. I want to do something that's going to be more impactful for people like starting their own businesses or making a change.
And then tell me, did you have any fraudy feelings or like imposter syndrome around like offering web designer services? Because like you didn't have any specific background or training?
Definitely. And I still do, but honestly, it was a matter of just knowing that I put in the work and I could do things. Here's what I did is when I started taking your courses, I was like, I know I am going to be so uncomfortable and it's going to be really hard because there's so much I don't know. That makes me want to quit. I'm like, I'm not good at this. I want to quit. I want to do something I'm good at. So I told myself when I started, just work through it. If you feel bad one day, that's okay. That's just part of the process and you're going to get to the other side. But like when I announced it to everybody in my network, I was so nervous, but I had like 4 or 5 people right away, like, I need a website. I need a website. And so then I did their websites and then I got their testimonials. And so honestly, just social proof helps me too. Like, oh, you like what I did? Okay, great. That feels so good.
Okay, man, okay, I have a million questions from all the things you just said. Okay, let's start with, how did you announce it and how did you get people? Did you have a website up at that point? And like, who were these people who decided to book you?
I wanted to make sure I had everything all dialed in. So I built my website. I had reached out to a friend who in my head was an ideal client and offered to build her website for free in exchange for the practice. And so I finally announced it on Facebook to my personal network and then to LinkedIn. And on Facebook, I just had so many people say, oh my gosh, this is great. I need a website. I probably had 10 people say they needed one. And then I think I probably ended up getting about 4 clients from that. A lot of them were like really busy people who were really professional and just were so successful, but didn't have time to get a website already. It was great to work with people I already knew at first. To be like, oh,
yeah,
cool.
Totally. Okay, wait, something else which people also wonder sometimes is like, can I just do Squarespace website design and be successful, or do I need to offer another platform too? What has your experience been? What do you think on that one?
Yes, absolutely. You can just do Squarespace. And I think it's actually for the best because if you know something really well, then you're going to know so much more about how to do it. If somebody asks you like, can you build me a website in Wix? Sure. Then I'll have to go learn that. Then you're not getting paid for all of the knowledge and skill that you've already acquired. You're having to go learn something else. So I think it's better to pick one. Maybe you can change, right? Like you could say, hey, Framer's coming up. I want to go learn how to use that. Cool. But I think it's really smart to have like one strong niche.
And then can you talk to me about, you have a few different offerings now. Can you walk me through what are your different offerings? What are the different things that you sell?
I work fast and I love working fast and I can just make things happen quickly. So 2-week website design, yes. And then I was like, 1-week website design, yes. 1-day website design, yes. I love it. So those are my 3 main offerings. I've done a couple 4-week web designs and they took too long. Like my attention span is just like, it doesn't work. So my main offering is a 1-week website design, but I'll offer 2 weeks if it's like a little bit more involved. And I love offering 1-day website designs or like VIP sessions as well. And one thing I've really started enjoying is website strategy. I've started offering this. Nobody's taken me up on it yet, but I offer website strategy for my 2-week web design clients. I love like getting their information and saying like, oh my gosh, okay, here's your ideal client. Here's what we'll do. Here's the sitemap. The website strategy is another like big piece that I love to offer.
That's fun. Okay, I love that. So yeah, how is the 2-week, the 1-week, and then the 1-day different? Obviously different timelines. What is the difference in what you can do in those, or what can you do in those timeframes, let's say?
I would say for 2-week web designs, I usually offer probably between 5 to 10 page website. I don't typically offer branding. That's not my strong suit. I will, and I have, but it's just in Canva. I'd rather recommend people who are really good at it. So I offer website strategy. I offer 5 to 10 pages. I went through everything. Like I looked through so many different things. I've tried so many different portals and I settled on Google Drive. And I just have like a dashboard document that has links and then folders to every content guide that tells you like SEO, all of those pieces. So that's all included in my 2-week web design. I do a live launch. I create little video tutorials for everybody. And 1 week is the same, but it's usually 3 to 5 pages.
Okay. And then the VIP days, is it you're promising a specific outcome or just like a certain amount of time?
I do kind of like give me a list of things you want done. And I love that because then I can just go in and I can, add custom code and I can update blogs. I can set things up. So if somebody wants some changes, I'll just go in and make all those changes. I can also do a one-pager website, which I like doing just to get people going, get people started. I also just recently started offering template customizations.
And then can you tell me what is the most popular of all the like offerings?
I would say probably 1 week website is the most popular of my website design services, probably because it's my favorite. So it's the one that I, share about the most. And in terms of the products, I would say actually my blog templates are the most popular, but I think that's in part because my website work back schedule, I usually offer that in bundles for free. So that's like what I offer to build my email list. So I give that away a lot of times.
Oh, okay. I love that. I feel like when you go do a normal job or a corporate job, then you can go on like glassdoor.com and you can get an idea of like what the average is, let's say, for like a certain job. Can you talk to me about like revenue as a website designer or like how that differs from like jobs you've had in the past?
It's actually really interesting. I feel like I did it kind of wrong because I came from a corporate event background. And so when I changed to web design, I just kept my rate. Honestly, like I think that was too high. I think if I had to do it again, I would have started it lower. It was harder for me sometimes to get clients, but once I got them, they paid well and I could offer value for that. But I would say pricing wise, it was hard to figure out that part. But on the other hand, it was really good. I think that I had just come from a corporate background because then I wasn't pricing myself really low. I started offering websites at $2,500 and it was fine. And there was no issue. And people were like, that's a great deal. I'm like, you know what? It is actually a really good deal. Yep. So I started at that level and I think that was a great spot to start. And now I kind of have a sliding scale where I start, like my 1 week website start at $3,500 and then it goes all the way up to $7,500 for a 2 week, depending on all the different pieces.
Exciting. That's great. Now, if you're watching this and thinking, wonder if I could be a web designer too, then that is exactly why I created the Dream Client Booking Blueprint. It is a 5-day guided challenge designed to help you land your first dream web design client without all of the overwhelm. Whether you are just starting out or pivoting into website design, this challenge provides daily bite-sized tasks to help you build your confidence and, most importantly, your client base. You're going to define your ideal client, you'll price your services with clarity, craft a really compelling portfolio, even if you don't have any clients to speak of right now, and learn how to craft a winning pitch. So if you're ready to turn your design passion into a paid profession, then check out the blueprint. It is exceptionally affordable, meaning you can test out a potential design career for less than the price of dinner. Click the link in the description below to secure your copy of the Dream Client Booking Blueprint. Okay, and then talk to me about ways that you're marketing yourself and getting clients now. So then that actually brings me to the web designer services. So can you tell me about like how are they mostly finding you or deciding to work with you? What marketing strategies working to get the service people?
So when I started, my plan was basically to short-term work on my networking and in person, and then referrals medium term, and then content strategy long-term. And that's basically how it's been. I started with people I knew who needed a website, and then I've gotten some referrals. So a lot of that is just through word of mouth, referrals.
Do you do anything to incentivize that? Or is it just happens naturally?
It just happens naturally. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I started writing blog posts, I think maybe like May of last year. And I was writing 2 a week until I started sending out weekly emails. And so I'm almost at 100 blog posts. I'm like 4 away and I'm really excited because that's a totally arbitrary goal I set for myself. So I just write weekly blog posts and that content strategies worked well. And then the other thing I've done is I love SEO and I love all the strategy parts of websites. What I did is I saw that obviously Squarespace web designer, I can't get that, but I looked up Squarespace web designer Portland and it said that there was nobody searching for that. And then I was like, well, that's fine. Then I can get it. So what I did is I created a page that was just Squarespace web designer Portland, because I live in Portland, Oregon. And I just had that be like a landing page of like, oh, hey, I'm a Squarespace web designer. I'm in Portland, Oregon. And then I linked to that in my footer, like in Portland, Oregon. And so that rapidly got me to #1 on the results. And that is where most people have found me actually. So the posts haven't brought that much in, but like Squarespace web design Portland has brought in like almost all of my SEO traffic.
So I guess, a lot of your clients are local now, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Also interesting because, as you said, when you did the research, it showed that like no one was searching it, but something like so broad and vague, like I'm sure there's a bajillion searches for it, but also so many results and everything. And so that's interesting to know that when you do get so specific, there's not that many searches. Or I mean, when Google figures out how many searches are there for something, it's not exact, it's not specific or anything.
Right.
It's like between a range of 0 and 100 or something. But like if you get 100 people every month who are on your website for that thing, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
And that's really nice too, because then people land on my site and it's not just, you know, like, how do I change the favicon in Squarespace? And like, maybe they'll sign up. It's like, they're actively looking for somebody. So even if it's only 10 people a month, you know, that's still like pretty high percentage.
Okay, that's a really fun strategy. I feel like no one has talked about that before. That's so interesting. Good.
It's been fun. Yeah, I was like, and if I do that, then that'll also help get me up closer to like Portland web design, right?
Yeah.
Like that'll be a part of it. So it's part of a little bit of a bigger strategy.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, cool. Why do you think that clients are coming to you specifically? There's a lot of web designers out there. Why? What differentiates you? What makes you the one that people want to work with?
I think for me, you know, what I've learned over the past couple of years is that for me, actually design isn't my strongest point. Like I'm good at it, but what I really love and what sets me apart, I think, is I'm great at project management. I'm great at client management. I love strategy and organization. And so I think all of those things are actually my differentiator. I have great processes. I really care about the success of my clients and I have everything set in place to do that. So for me, I think like find your niche, you know? And so for me, like strategy and client and process is why I think I get referrals and my people love working with me.
The other thing, which you mentioned quickly before we started recording, was that you travel a lot. Tell me about traveling and running the business. How does that work? Where are you going? How long are you on the road for? All the things.
So I quit my corporate job. It was an event job. I quit that in November of 2019. I just left the country on a one-way ticket and I was like, I'm just going to stay living abroad until I can figure out how to like work from abroad. So I was like, all right. So I took some time and I was just traveling around and I was having the time of my life. But while I was doing that, COVID happened and I didn't have a house to come back to. I didn't have a car. So I just moved into a friend's Airbnb in Portland. I was here for the summer. I started doing my freelance corporate event production. And then I was like, I'm spending more money in Portland just existing than I would be spending somewhere else just existing. And so there was a time when COVID was like feeling a little bit better. And so I was like, all right, let's see where I can go. So I just like got my mask, got my vaccines, got everything all going and flew to Croatia. I lived in Croatia for 3 months and I was just in lockdown there. You know, I wasn't like, I'm partying. I was like, like walking around and going for walks and like working from home, but I was able to do that somewhere amazing. And then I went to Ukraine for a couple months and then to Turkey and it was incredible. And it was everything I always thought it would be. It was amazing. And it was so perfect for my schedule too. Like I love waking up in the morning and working and then taking time off in the afternoon and then working in the evening. And it was perfect to do that when I was abroad because nobody was awake in the afternoon. So I could go explore and like drink some champagne and pet street cats and then like go back home to my hotel and work. And so then I just kept doing that. So I would come back home, see my family, do my fun summers in Oregon, and then I would go traveling again. And then one time when I was home, I met this guy and we're now engaged.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you so much. So now it looks a little different. Like we have this little apartment together, but he works in the wine industry. So every fall he's really busy in harvest. And so every fall I still go travel. And so next month I'm leaving and I'm going to meet some friends in Paris and then in Morocco. And that's going to be my time off where I'm just going to go explore and have fun. And then I'm going to go and just work for a month or two. And I don't know if I'm where yet, but I love Eastern Europe. So probably like Romania or something. We'll see.
Cool. Really cool. Yeah. Okay, that's so exciting. Also love your destination choices. Tell me about if someone's like, I want to do that, but how do I run the business from a different place? Like, what were the sort of considerations you had to make? Also hilarious that you're getting Portland, Oregon clients, actually, if you think about that.
I know. It is really funny. I'm like I was working from Romania in January and I had a client in Indiana and then one client in Portland. And I'm like,
it kind of shows that you can actually like be a location specific web designer in some random place that you choose it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah, okay, but tell me about like running it from abroad. Is there anything that you need to like take into consideration, like time zones or I don't know, is there anything that's difficult or is it
pretty easy, or like, how does that work?
That's a good question. I would say from the business perspective, it's nice that I have a home base here because I can still have like my business set up here and I don't have to worry about anything else, which I know you had to do, and that seems so overwhelming. So I can still have everything like in the United States and it's fine. So what I do, for example, is like, I don't have specific office hours. Like I work 9 to 5 every day. My office hours may not be yours. Like I'm going to email you. Don't ever feel like you're obligated to respond. I might be on a different time zone, but like I will let you know that I'll reply within X amount of time. Or, you know, I'll be very clear, like we might be working in different time zones, but I'll be available during this time. And then I'll just set up my meeting. So like, I don't mind working late hours if I need. Like I did a website launch at 11 p.m. in Bucharest, you know, like that's fine for me because I'm in Bucharest and it's amazing. So I don't mind. Like I don't have kids, I don't have pets. Like I've set my life up where I don't necessarily need to schedule around those kinds of obligations. I just need to schedule around like the things that are important to me and the way I've chosen to live. And so I just do that by like being clear and flexible and communicating those things.
Good. I'm so happy to hear it. Thank you. I appreciate that.